But the first talking point tonight, Sav, is for you, my old mucker, with Spurs humbled, embarrassed again after throwing away a 2-goal lead in the last 10 minutes of the game. And that was followed up by an epic Antonio Conte rant. And we'll move on to Antonio Conte, but talk to me about the game, Sav, because, I mean, as you had a big fight about this last week, did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy it?
I haven't enjoyed watching Tottenham Hotspur under Antonio Conte. Listen, this constant need to play a back five, no matter who we're playing against, is just killing it for me. We've gone to the team bottom of the country, bottom of the Premier League, have conceded the most goals in the Premier League. We're playing 5 at the back. They dominate possession. They dominate the number of shots. Our keeper is made to work hard. And we score 3 breakaway goals and everyone thinks it's good. It's boring. It's negative. And I'm numb to it, Terry. I'm numb to it. I know people like seeing the Spurs fans have meltdowns. I don't do it. I don't have meltdowns. Then it's not worth melting down and get about. This is what we are. This is who we are now. This is our club. So, no, I didn't enjoy it, to answer your question. No, it wasn't enjoyable for me.
I get you. I guess you didn't. David, on Tottenham, do you think this is the collapse the lack of quality personnel, or is this a disconnect between the manager players system? Because they're throwing away leads or getting beat by teams that are so vastly superior to them. It's unbelievable.
I think it is a bit of both, to be fair. Like, playing a back five is not an issue. Playing a back five in 2023 with Eric Dyer is a massive issue. Like, that guy just shouldn't be playing football at this level anymore. He should be gone. And like, I get like Pedro Porro scored, but is he that good? I'm not too sure. And I look at Tottenham's squad, and it's just like, unless Kane or Kulusevski shows up, they're done for. That's the only way they score goals. It's just hope Harry Kane shows up today. And to be fair, he's actually having a phenomenal season. If Haaland didn't exist, Kane would be getting talked about in that way. But unfortunately, he does exist. So yeah, whatever. But yeah, like, it's hard to explain what's going on with Spurs because they are fourth technically. If I could swap places with Spurs in terms of points, I would. If I could swap places with Spurs instead of where my club's going, I wouldn't. And I'm in 10th. So if that doesn't tell you what's going on, I don't know what else will. So yeah,
that is the damning. That's damning, isn't it, Sonny? A team in 10th who everyone's bantering wouldn't swap with Spurs that are sitting 4th right now.
Look, I was having quite a bad day Saturday. It's just one of those days, and it's just Spurs are like when you look at a poor family. It's like you just feel fortunate for what you have. Like, Liverpool should not be in the top 4 race, but because we're with it in Tottenham, we've got such a good chance. I don't know what it is.
Poor family.
I love the Conte rant because I think he said everything what the club's about, what the club's been failing at, and I seen Spurs fans didn't like that, and I just think this is why you support Spurs, because you're fighting against what's right. You're fighting against winning almost. I'm not speaking for you, Sav. I don't know if you said that. But I've seen Spurs fans react to that Conte rant and going, you know what, get out my club. Don't speak about my club.
Sorry.
Talking about?
Again, in football, you got to remember, sometimes it's not about what he said. What he said is absolutely correct. He basically said this is the history of the Tottenham. That is basically what he said in a long-winded form. But it's the way he's excusing himself from the whole situation. That's why Spurs fans are angry. It's kind of like, but wait, my brother, you're saying this, that, and the third about Spurs, but you're the man at the head of the ship. You're the cap. You are the captain right now. Look, you know what I mean? So
he's talking about them as though he's a pundit on television.
Yeah,
not their manager. Like,
yeah.
Man did up prime Graham Souness, peak Roy Keane, and ripped into his team. It's like, brother, that's your team that you've been coaching for 18 months, brother.
Yeah.
This is partly on you as well. In fact, we can take a look here. We'll take a little look at what Antonio Conte had to say. Let's take a little look.
The club paid us a lot of money. The players receive money. Me receive money. You understand? Not to find excuse and don't have spirit or don't show the sense of belongings. or don't show sense of responsibility? Because we are showing this. And for me, this is unacceptable for me. Because this is the first time in my career to see a situation like this.
You know what's damning about this? Like, first time he's not going to win a trophy at a club. First time he's in a situation at a club. It is a madness.
And until now, I wasn't able to change. Not to change, but compare last season, the situation went to become worst.
It's honestly, I don't want to laugh. It's just, it's fun. It's mad that I've never seen anything like it in my life. But he's right. But he's right in what he said. He's right in what he says. But should he be saying this?
He's right in some things, yeah. But I think the key thing for me, right? I've said this all day today, right? If you're gonna go in on the board, right? It felt to me that, like, I liken this to, like, if you're a boxer, right? The punches he landed on the players were knockout punches. He went in deep on the players. When it came to the board, it was a few little jabs to the body, but not really prepared to take that swing. Then when you hear yesterday that he's gone in to see the board and say, just to clarify, that wasn't about you, it was about the players. I'm like, no, if you're going to go in, right, stand up, turn around and say, I'm a winner. These owners don't have the same ambition. Drop the mic. I'm quitting. And then we all go, brilliant. Build a statue of the guy. He's a hero. But for me, it just feels that there's too much blame on everyone else. Like in the last 5 games, that's Sheffield United away, Wolves away, Nottingham Forest, Milan at home, and Southampton away. 4 of those teams, one of them's in the Championship, 3 were in the bottom 4 of the Premier League, and he can't get results. Now, yes, the players aren't the best, but are we saying that our squad isn't better than Sheffield United and Wolves and Southampton? And that, for me,
should he
is
not be blaming the players?
No,
He's
he's
talking
no,
like
but the thing is, Spurs fans are blaming the players. They're blaming.
Yeah,
everyone.
it's all of them.
They've got the gun, the hip, the Sava especially. They're firing the hip. They don't care who they hit when it comes to Spurs. Even Spurs fans. They're just getting shut up by their own fan base. It is a madness at Spurs right now. But the thing is this: Antonio Conte. This rant reminds me of the Ronaldo interview, where you're going out, you're speaking against all these different people, but yet you're failing to realize the point that you've played, the what you played in this situation. You're not acknowledging that. You're just forgetting about that. So if he had come out and said, "Look, we're struggling, the players aren't good enough, the board ain't backing me, I'm not doing my job right, but you know what, fans, I need your backing, support me, and we can." I think Spurs fans will be like, "All right, cool. He's taking his part of the blame, and he's trying to fix the club in the right way." When you're just trying to be like, "Oh, this never happened to me, and this has never happened to me," and fans will just look at that and be like, "Bro, like look at the crap that you've been putting out there, man. Don't come chat to us about this ain't happening."
To be fair to Conte, walking into a club that I think he went there for money, to be honest. But I think he went in there thinking, oh, these players, they may not be amazing, but they can't be that bad. I think it's taken him 18 months to go like, oh no, this current team, whatever they're trying to do isn't working. And like, it's hard to switch a mentality of a whole club in 18 months. He's been there 18 months. He's been there 18 months, but it's hard to switch that mentality.
But I'm sorry, you are
to winning,
considered one of the top managers in the world. Not
Correct.
to be rude about Spurs, but when they approached you the first time, you said no. They'll come back at you again, and you are a top class manager. You've got the pick of any club that you want. All you have to do is wait. You're telling me he's never done his research on Spurs. He's never done the history of the Tottenham lessons and realize what kind of club there is. He just has to go and call Jose and see what kind of club.
Yeah, but
go
also,
call Nuno, see what kind of club they are.
I think Conte is so headstrong.
I'm sorry, David. I don't feel no sympathy for this brother because you had the option to say no.
I don't think anyone's looking for sympathy. I don't think anyone's looking for sympathy on the Tottenham front.
I'm just saying in general because I'm just saying I've got no sympathy for him at all.
I mean, like if you look at the way that they play, it doesn't matter what manager goes in there. if you were to keep that same system right now. The system is disgusting. You know, the three at the back doesn't work, especially with three abject centre halves. And then when you look at that front three, and they've got nobody feeding those guys, it just makes you, as a football fan, it makes you upset. As an Arsenal fan, it's great, but you want to be able to see like some form of creativity, even if they were to play Kane a little bit deeper and then put Richarlison through the middle or something like that. You know, you're not seeing anything. It's very obvious what Spurs go into every time. So you can't really blame the players so much. That is on Conte.
No, that is true. But Conte also rejected Maddison as well, which is crazy. Apparently they were going to go in for him.
How would you play
where
Maddison?
Does Maddison fit in this 3-4-3? He doesn't fit.
Exactly. But you can make him fit though.
This is the thing.
But he's again.
But the creativity comes from the manager. That's right. The creativity comes from the manager to a degree, right? He's got to have the players. But his football's so drab. You could have peak Messi, KDB, and Bruno Fernandes in that team, and you play Conte's style. You're not creating too much. They are so negative from start to finish, and that's on him. And I see a lot of people saying he's right, but he's the guy that's meant to be fixing it. It's almost like, imagine when the country went into turmoil during lockdown. It's like Boris Johnson going on TV and ripping into the government about all the things that are going wrong and how bad they are, but talking like an outsider, talking like a pundit, talking like a fan or a rival. Antonio Conte is the man in charge. We all, when we have successful teams, I know that Sonny does it with Klopp. I know right now Gav is bigging up Mikel Arteta. Chelsea fans love Jose Mourinho. They love Carlo Ancelotti. Man United fans, of course, with Fergie. And right now with Ten Hag, our managers get all the praise. So when it goes wrong, a big percentage of blame, especially when it's on the field, and so the quality of teams they lose to and draw to regularly, has to go upon Antonio Conte. Of course, you do look upstairs. Did they appoint the right person? That's where it ends with. The board are massively to blame. But I used to say this about Jose, and I said it about Oli. It wasn't that I was never against them as managers. My focus was more on the board, but I still criticized the things that they did wrong. Seeing Antonio Conte do that is nothing short of embarrassing. The good news, maybe for Tottenham fans, is this has come out today that Spurs are considering all options under Antonio Conte's future, and his departure during the international break is very much possible. Sav, is the right thing to do to sack him and bring in an interim or a new manager now, or do you want him to try and still might land you top 4 for next year? Like, what do you want to see happen, bro?
I don't even know. I'm just so numb to it, Terry. Look, at the end of the day, the guy's going at the end of the season. I think if he signs a new contract, he's crazy, having had an 18-month sample size to see how we operate. Is it worth sacking him now and bringing a lot of upheaval and change with 10 games left of the season? I'm not sure it is. Is he asking to be sacked? I'm not sure. All I know is this, Terry. This guy was never the right appointment. I told everybody and anybody I know at the time, this is not the right appointment for Tottenham Hotspur. You can't bring in a win-now manager to a shambles of a club, right? You bring in a win-now manager. For example, a win-now manager for me would be when Spurs finished second under Pochettino and he couldn't quite get over the line. That's the squad I want Antonio Conte picking up, right? With a couple of players sprinkled in and you go on, you're the winner. Now get them over the line. Bringing him in when you need to build an entire team, I just don't understand. That's not this guy, right? That's not who he is. So I'm not sure why people are surprised by what's happened. I'm not sure the fact that the guy signed an 18-month contract has got to be the biggest clue to everyone.
Red flag,
right? It's and what David, didn't it? Right? What a massive red flag. He signed an 18-month contract, and then people are going, get behind him. Sorry, what am I getting behind? Somebody who's here in the interim. Do you know? I likened it to if you start dating a girl, right? You start dating a girl before you go to that stage of, yeah, we're together. And I'm asking her out and she's going, I'll let you know in 3 months. Well, hang on, what? What's going on here? Hang on, why am I committing to you? Like, do you know what I mean? This is
Sav,
This is
are you still waiting for her? Or
no, I got her to marry me in the end, Terry. It was
Okay.
all right.
Hey,
She
oi,
married
big
me.
up my guy.
She married me on
I
a
like Saba.
on an 18, 20-year contract. She's got
Why
me
don't you
for.
stick with Conte and it worked in that situation?
But listen. But the thing is, the thing is, what I keep hearing, Sonny, is this: loads of people say to fans like me, "Get behind Conte, back him. You can't sack another manager." This isn't sacking another manager. This is a manager that at the moment his contract runs out in the next 10 weeks. This is a case of if he truly believed this was the right club for him and Daniel Levy truly believed he was the right manager, why did both of them sign an 18-month contract? Why?
It's hard because sack him now, cool. But who comes in for the last 10 weeks of the game in a crucial part of the season where it's not like you guys have got top 4 wrapped up and the players are just not happy, so you're just gonna be like, screw it, just get rid of him, and you will just see the last 10 games out and we'll just be in top 4. You guys are still fighting for top 4. You know that matters to your football club. Like that's what I really care about, really.
Matters
That
to the
and-
owner, yeah.
Yeah, that and flipping F1 and concerts. You know what I mean? Like that's what they care about right now. But if you sack him now, there's no option. Who they're gonna bring in? Because I'm hearing people say Enrique. Bro, you think Enrique is coming in mid-season and just after Conte? He ain't doing that. Like no.
They'd
top
have Ryan
manager-
Mason. They'd have Ryan
Yeah,
Mason
Ryan
in the
Mason's the
interim.
talk at the moment,
and then-
no top manager
yeah.
would want to do that right now. So sacking him would be pointless. He's going out at the end of the season anyway. But at the same time, keeping him here is not going to help situations either because it looks like he's starting to start.
If you're a
looking like the
player,
players.
if you're a player, right, and he's here in 2 weeks' time, when we play Everton 2 weeks tonight on the Monday Night Football, right? Away, a team that are going to be full of energy, full of fight, full of passion. If you're a player in that dressing room, right, and you're rocking up, you've driven up to Everton or whatever, and Conte's giving you a team talk, are you not sitting there going, "What? Why am I going to run through a brick wall for you?" Aren't you?
Well, this is exactly what
hard.
different words, but it's what Jose did at Man United, and it started off in the summer when we had a number of injuries and other problems. But he was saying to all this isn't my squad, this isn't my team. They're Man United players, but these ain't my players. These ain't who I want. He was berating Martial that was at the birth of his child. And then all season he moaned and he moaned. He spent the summer slagging off Pogba, saying, look, he's good for a month, but I don't know if he can do it for a full season. There are certain things, and this is what's crazy. Fans always say, I want managers and footballers to speak the God's honest truth. Do you know the irony of that is this? They would be the same people that would march into the HR office at work if their boss stood up in front of the entire workforce and spell out your flaws and your problems and your inadequacies to everybody. There are certain things that must be kept in-house, unless it's discipline-based and it's a certain individual that's had warning after warning after warning after warning, like an Aubameyang as an example. Even Man United with Ronaldo, the manager at no point slagged him off. He just smiled. He's one of our players. He's who I want around. And that's why you can't, I often say you can't take managers seriously. As in, you can't take them word for word seriously when they say things like, oh yeah, I'm really happy with Cristiano Ronaldo staying. He's part of our squad. Excited to work with him. And then everybody says, oh, see, the manager wanted him. The manager wanted him. He has to say that because it's professional. And it isn't even about the other players being hurt by that particular comment. It makes other players distrust you. What if I do something wrong? Is he going to out me? Is he going to slag me off in public? Players don't want that. They get enough shit as it is. And Antonio Conte, for me, has made, I don't think he's made a mistake. This is calculated. He wants that severance pain now. He wants to sail off into the sunset, have a little 6 months off, and then see what's happening because he's going to be he won't be walking away with huge amounts of money, but I still think he wants his last 2 or 3 months salary.
Terry, there's rumors though that he's got a clause in the contract that says if he's sacked before his contract ends, he gets a year payout.
Oh, this
There's
guy,
I don't know. I've seen lots of things going around.
He's going to get caught in bed with Harry Kane's wife or something.
Yeah.
So he's just getting mad out of the club.
Who is his agent? His agent's doing God's work.
His agent must be the same one as Maxim Choupo-Moting's agent or something. You know what I mean?
No, don't disrespect Choupo-Moting, you know. He's actually a baller.
David, it's not that amazing.
He's a baller.